Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tashana. Let's get into this. PSA, I'm a little hoarse. I had a time last night, or yesterday rather, and I'm outside, so excuse me. Alright, now, as you know, we've been going over the periodic table, but I did, however, realize that there was something that needed to be addressed. We just went through moon phases, and a lot of people who focus on abstracting and manipulating energy from the masses has attacked several different areas or pockets of inner cities in particular. Now, if you know anything about the phases of the moon and its cycles and how energy is, used to conjure up chaos and mayhem amongst people who are vibrating at a certain level, that you will understand why this is a problem, simply because of the new portals that we just walked through. It can mimic your old patterns or loop, or the aim is to basically knock down your spiritual wall and use you as a vessel to operate at the darker, lower energies. Now, the thing is this, right? When you come into alignment or agreement with these negative or dark forces, you tend to believe that is maybe possibly God, right? Having you do this, you might actually believe that this is you. And this is, again, why it's important to have this relationship with the Creator, is simply because you'll know, and he'll allow the attacks to go through simply because it's something that's under a magnifying glass that you need to pay particular attention to. Now, most of the time, when these masses are attacked, there's a lot of different things going on, right? So you have quarrels with people who are supposed to be partners, right? Building businesses or coming together in communities for preparation for the next generation, right? Then you might say, I know this, this person has become a little more isolated, right? This may be someone who's supposed to be spreading good energy or news to the masses to lead them to their awakening. So these are the main groups or people, if you will, that are going to be under attack. It's like the last little attempts to not only steal energy, but just divert the attention of the people who are supposed to be going in one area or another, simply because the people who are demonic or operate at lower levels, they are aware of these portals, of these new cycles that are set to begin for God's people. And a lot of them, they know a lot of your plans and your purpose and what the Creator is doing in your life, simply because they monitor and stalk and track you so much, right? They're spiritually spying. Remember, we talked about that, using mirrors, using water, jumping spirits into other bodies or animals. Some people call them monitors. Some people call them spies or stalkers. It's just people literally going into a spiritual metamorphosis and just trying to find their way into your energy any way they can. Now, what the good thing about this is because during this time, a lot of the things that are hidden or need to come up to the surface are going to be exposed. Not just with the people who are attacking you, but with you also, right? The things you need to work on in order to get into your next phase. And this is where it gets tricky, because Just because something is failing now doesn't mean it's going to fail forever. Just because you're not there now doesn't mean you're not going to get there. And the Creator may be trying to take you through some motions just so you can have a better understanding of yourself, so you can know how to operate in certain environments and areas, right? Because it's not up to you when or where or how, if you're truly following the voice and the commands of the Creator. He's going to tell you where you're supposed to go. He's going to tell you what you should be doing. He's going to guide you. And just because you're in the spirit of causing mayhem doesn't mean that it's not the Creator. Sometimes the Creator uses you in your havoc to shake things up. So again, this goes back to your relationship. That's going to always come up. Your ability to connect with the spirit world is not only contingent upon your relationship with the Creator, not only your willingness to connect with the Creator, but your overall energy. Where are you in your journey? Where are you in your spiritual process? Where are you in connecting with not only your higher self or your future self, but where are you in connecting with the people that need your assistance, that need your energy? Now, this doesn't mean, right, again, that your havoc, because your havoc can be healing too. The same way God brings us into situations that will make us literally see and understand, right, what our purpose is, He will also allow people to take on that energy if need be. Now, it's been a while, since I've actually looked into anything that may be anniversary of mine, simply because the Creator is going to give you that information, right? You don't have to go looking for anything. When you are ready, right, when you're spiritually mature enough to accept the war being waged against you, you'll know how to move forward from there. And I mean, there's so many different signs and symbols that, a lot of people may overlook. But as time prevails, you're going to notice that the things you pick up on, it's easier to get rid of it and dismiss it once you've come to terms with your ability to manifest, to wait on the Creator, and to move at the proper pace. Because what happens is, a lot of us, sometimes when we get these gifts, right, we put the cart before the horse. We don't allow the divine order of things to unfold and manifest naturally, because we're so focused on using our gifts instead of allowing the Creator to naturally create a custom, clear pathway for us to walk through without the chaos, without all of that, right? The chaos is only needed when you're like slacking on making a move. Not just for you, but for other people. Like, right? When God causes hell in other people's lives who are attacking you, or when the Creator is causing hell in your life because you're being disobedient, or because you're taking too long, or because you're not adhering to what it is that He's communicating, right? That's one thing. But when you can actually say, you know what, I'll wait for the Creator to tell me where to go. I'll wait for, me to really be sure that what I'm hearing is from the Creator, to act on this. And this is especially for people who give spiritual advice, who give advice of any, kind. to help people in any area of their lives. If you consider yourself a seer, a prophet, an angel, any kind of worker, warrior for the Creator, it's really important for you to know that your pace sometimes is your pace and it's not that of the Creator. So that's why sometimes things don't fall in a particular order. Now, you may have this belief or understanding, again, that it's you and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And it is. And that's not healthy when you're supposed to be doing something that God said. So a good way to know is when it's just a flow, right? When you open yourself up to your gifts and you're creating and you're giving someone advice, not only does the advice flow freely from your heart, you'll be able to have a scenario in mind that is eerily similar, where you can identify with the feelings and emotions that person is experiencing without them literally having to utter much. Like literally. Right? That's one thing. And I'm not even going to go into that because that's a whole nother segment. But just know, if you're seeking advice of any sort, or if you're giving advice, your timing must be in alignment, or you're doing it wrong. It's just that simple. You're giving out the wrong energy and you're receiving the wrong energy. And there's been a lot of different concepts, with magic and how to confuse people and create these different illusions and, draw up fear tactics. Just different things that will cause havoc or confusion in a person's life when they're on their way. The demonic forces can use you, even if you are of the light. Simply if you're not on time, simply if you're out of alignment with the advice or the movement or the ideas and the thoughts, right? Because a lot of the times we're like, oh yeah, I have these gifts and I'm going to just use it. No, you want to make sure that the information you're divulging or receiving is operating at a particular time. You want to make sure what you're picking up and putting down is in alignment. Alignment is not just going where you're supposed to go. It's going when you're supposed to go, how you're supposed to go, why you're supposed to go. A lot of people get these spiritual gifts and then they just jump off the roof and then they're like doing their own thing. And at times like this, when the cosmos are out of order, people who work against the will of the Creator and His people and His plans take full advantage. Because they know this is a time for me to manipulate the energy that's going to be given out. And I am going to implement and infuse my energy in this situation to create confusion. We have to be careful and study the phases of these moons and these cycles, because these are the times when the attacks are the highest. No matter how big or small you feel your journey or your purpose is, these times are definitely designated and reserved to attack people who are well on their way. Don't get confused with thinking that your gifts are supposed to be used at a time when they are not. Allow the Creator to guide you and lead you in the proper direction, in the proper ways. Don't just do stuff because you can. Check in with the Creator first, okay? I'm going to end here. I do love y'all. I hope all is well. I'm so sorry for my hoarse voice. I hope y'all drink y'all water, eat y'all fruit and y'all vegetables, and sip on y'all tea, because it's free. Have a good weekend. Love y'all. Peace.